All right. Hello, everybody. This is Jennifer Hart, the connector, as I have deemed myself, because my mission and purpose in life is to connect people and information to each other so that they can learn, grow, achieve, and heal to their best and highest selves. So today we have with us Sarah Van Sciver. Am I saying it right?
It.
Oh,
yep.
Yes. I got Sarah Van Sciver, and I said it right the first time. I've talked to you so many times, and I've really never asked how to pronounce your name. So
Got it.
That's kind of funny. And I wanted to bring her on today for many reasons. One, she's super awesome. And we're in the same coaching program. So the first time we met was when she was doing an interview on me, I think. And I just loved her energy. I loved what she was up to in the world. We have very similar missions, helping people to find themselves, connect with themselves, and find their gifts. And so I wanted to bring her on because right now she's actually going to be doing a workshop series that's really freaking cool. So let me tell you a little bit about Sarah before I hand it over to her and have her tell us more about herself. As a field practitioner, an intentional creativity coach in training, Sarah empowers women to tap into their creativity so they can access their power and connection to spirit to increase their confidence, impact, and income as successful feminine leaders. Sarah weaves several modalities together to create a unique process for healing. For over 20 years, Sarah has studied and practiced several types of healing, including expressive arts therapy, Sufi spiritual healing, 5-element acupuncture, and equine facilitated learning. Through these processes, Sarah has been able to heal herself from her childhood and adult trauma, depression, and anxiety. Today, she leads women in her Soul Purpose Facebook group, holds healing art workshops and classes, and works one-on-one with women in her 6-month program, The Creative Path to Feminine Leadership. And now I would love to have Sarah tell us more about her story herself, because it's always better, it's so cool and fun to read about you and talk about you, but I think the true value comes from the authenticity of you talking about yourself and sharing your story with the world. So I would love to know, and to share with everybody else that's watching, what brought you to the work that you're doing today.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thanks so much for having me today, and thanks for that wonderful introduction. Yes, and I agree that, it's nice to just tell the story authentically, and it's nice to have the bio too, but I think it hits home when I can share a little bit more detail about how I did get to where I am today. And it's been a long journey, but I'm really grateful for every step that I've been on that's gotten me to where I am today. I have been an artist since I was young, and I was encouraged as a young artist, a young girl, to work on my art because I had a grandmother who was an artist, and a long line of other women in my family who were artists. And so I had that influence. And instead of some people, not having the support, I had that support. So that was a real gift that I had just growing up. And at the same time, I had some trauma that happened in my family, and I was in a foster home when I was 12, and that kind of disrupted things for me quite a bit. And I went on to college, but I still wasn't emotionally very secure in myself. But what I discovered was I was studying the healing properties of art and the connection between our creativity and spirituality. And I just fell in love with it, and I used it on myself, and it helped me to process things that had happened in my family. And I felt like it was so powerful. And I also had started a spiritual path at that point as well. And so I could feel the power of using the creativity, like in mandalas, to access our more spiritual selves through that creativity and through art making. So I really loved it, and I was set to become an art therapist. And I think all my fears came up and all my insecurities came up, and I shifted my path, and I ended up leaving college early and I entered an ashram instead and to become a nun. And I thought I was going to be there for the rest of my life, but I didn't. I was only there for a year. But I know I was only there for a year, but it really was another start to like really looking at myself. And I was just on a journey really for the past many years of just layers of healing and different modalities I've discovered, and 2 different marriages, 2 different divorces. And the real kicker that happened for me when I was pregnant with my son, or when I had my son, and that was almost 13 years ago, he was born. I had a lot of postpartum depression and anxiety, and I'd already had depression that I had been trying to heal through all these different kinds of modalities and even art at that point, but I never really could get to the root of it. And so I had my son, and it just kind of flared up again in a way that I just didn't really know how to manage. And so I was like searching for answers constantly, and through diet and different things like that. And not to go into all the details, but when when my son was about 6, I kind of really hit bottom at that point and hit a place where I became very severely depressed and didn't really know what to do, and really felt like I had like come to the end of my rope. And I ended up getting diagnosed bipolar 2, and then re-diagnosed with PTSD. So the bipolar can seem like the trauma and bipolar are very similar, but it's really the trauma that was really affecting me that I didn't even realize that's what was driving me or like not driving me, but the undercurrent of what I needed to heal for so long. So that's how I found the horses. That's how the horses found me. And that's really how the horses are really what helped me to heal through this trauma that I'd had as a child and then into adult as well. So, and then also through my healing process, I had to return to my artwork, which I hadn't really been painting for many years, and really started using it more as, for my own healing as well. So come to the point of, I did my training in facilitated equine experiential learning in 2016, and then I started my practice. And it's really become a dream come true for me to be able to come full circle and offer the services that I offer, because I've been passionate about healing for so long, because obviously I needed my own healing, and now I can turn around and offer that to other people. And, being an artist and being able to inspire other people to tap into their creativity and to really feel like they can access that power within themselves. That's what I'm really passionate about.
That's awesome. I love it. And I love that when we met, you told me about the experience with the horses, and I thought that was really cool and really intriguing. And because of COVID right now, where we're not able to have these in-person events, you've had to completely shift everything. And right. I know when we were talking, you were telling me how all the principles are still the same. So now you've completely revamped your program. Instead of working directly with the horses, you're able to take it to a virtual space. Right. And then you decided to do these workshops. So tell me more about the workshops, and why did you decide to do them, and what is the purpose?
Let's see. Well, I guess I decided to do them because I wanted to do more classes like this for people, for women. I did a mandala class in June, and I loved it. It was the first online art event that I'd done ever, and I'd done similar things in person, but never online. And I think just the more I've stepped into my purpose and my passions, the more I've trusted myself to do the things I think I've always wanted to do, but just haven't allowed myself to do. So, I think the classes have kind of evolved by themselves. So like it's called Art Medicine is Heart Medicine, and it's specifically for feminine leaders women who want to step into their leadership. So, through our program together, through ELA and our coaching program, I've just come to more firmly discover or own more. I think it was even a year ago that I felt like this is where I was going, but it was hard for me to really own, like, this is really what I wanted to do. I think a lot of it is, we have the limiting beliefs of like, can I really do that? And so I think it just evolved over time. And, I think, I don't know, I wanted to do a series. I wanted to do like 3 or 4 classes together and just kind of be able to dive in a little bit deeper with women and just discover how we can use art to really access our creativity, access our divine inner guidance, and to step in more fully into our gifts that we have, so that we really can step up and be, feminine leaders in the world that the world needs so much right now.
Right. And I've experienced this with myself. That's why I loved what you were up to. Well, one, because I'm an event planner and I've done a lot of events and I love to bring people together. And 2, because on my own journey, I didn't even realize how disconnected I was from like myself. When I do this, I mean like my chakras, my inner self, my highest self, my whatever you want to call it. And from source. And so I started doing these creative things and I realized how impactful they were for me to get in touch with myself. It's like meditative. I get ideas. It's therapeutic. Like you were saying, it's fun, it's play. And it's not about if you think you're good or if you think you're not good. It's just about a creative outlet. And there's so much power, from a personal opinion, of experiencing myself and getting into it, like drawing. And I have a coloring book and I painted this picture up here. It's not the best, but I love it. Like I keep it in my room and I have a couple others that are over here on the side that you can't see. And they were so fun to make. And so I think it's very important that people check out the events, workshops and series, and follow her too, because she's doing cool stuff like this all the time. And then the other point I want to touch on is the feminine leaders. So we talked about this kind of before, and a feminine leader is not necessarily what I think of when I hear the word leader, is like some CEO at a corporation. But what a leader really is any person stepping into their power. And what that means when I say that is just, if you have a calling to do something, or you have a gift that you're supposed to be sharing with the world, or maybe you need to speak up more for yourself, it could look so many different ways. It's not necessarily, you have to be the CEO. Every person is a leader.
Yes.
Period. And there's different ways to like express that. So I would love to hear you touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And, being a mom, like even if you're a mom raising children, I feel like maybe that's like maybe the most important layer that we have in the world, because we're raising the next generation, So that's just one example of, it doesn't have to be this, idea of like somebody in a corporation. It can still be that. And I think that bringing this kind of leadership to those platforms is just as important. So I love what you said about empowerment, really stepping into whatever that is for us, being a mom, being a leader of a corporation, being an entrepreneur, being an artist, whatever that is for us, to really dive into those gifts, what we've been given, because I really believe that we are the only ones that can give that. And if we don't give it, then the world's not going to have it. Yeah. And nobody else can do it. And it maybe somebody else has done it, but nobody's done it like us. I think Elizabeth Gilbert says that. So maybe, there's thousands of artists or whatever, but nobody's done it like you. So
everybody has their unique gift, and you could all be doing the same thing, but you'll always bring a different flair. And so I love stepping into that is amazing. And let's talk about my little list here. I want to make sure I don't forget anything. So let's talk about what you're going to be doing at each of the events.
Sure. Yeah. So we're going to be using mostly drawing through the 4 different workshops. So the type of drawing that I do is just process oriented. It can end up looking, quote, pretty, or something you might want to keep, but that's not the point of it. The point of it is to really be present with the act of putting pen to paper and using your body as an instrument and connecting with your heart and your soul through that process. And by doing that, an image can be formed where you can see yourself in a different way. It's called metacognitive drawing that I have learned how to do. And we're also going to be doing something called like mandala drawing, which most people have heard of. And the kind of mandala drawings that we do, I have people go through a step-by-step process to create their own mandala and tap into their personal symbols of their leadership or their gifts, and then bringing that out into the mandala. So it's not a cookie cutter. I don't give you templates. That might sound kind of scary, but it's really about just accessing your creativity, your wisdom within yourself so that you can bring that out. And when you see it on a piece of paper, no matter what it looks like, it's like your gift coming out into the physical. And it's like the first step of really seeing that it's like a reflection. So it's a really powerful process.
I'm excited. I can't wait. Woohoo!
Yeah. So that's the basic tenet. There's 4 different workshops, all working on a slightly different theme. The first one is about your vision, your leadership vision, what that looks like. The second one is about your intuition and really tapping into your body wisdom. Third one is really diving deeper into your gifts and what I call your codes. And then the fourth one is really stepping into your artful, heartful leadership, completely leading from your heart, whatever that looks like. I can share a couple of drawings if that might be helpful.
Yeah, that'd be great. And I love too that you made these events really accessible while you're grabbing the drawings to be able to do this at home because of the times right now. You can't gather these people in person. So you are literally bringing art to people's houses, and everything I think you said you needed was like a white piece of paper and either crayons or colored markers or
pencils.
Yeah. And those are all things that a person could get at the dollar store for less than $5. And you mentioned
Exactly.
the paper and the black paper. I think they have like a coloring book of colored construction paper for $1. So like less than $5, you can get the supplies if you don't already have them to your house and join in and like just have a good time and have fun. Okay, let's see.
Yes, exactly. I want to make it as simple as possible. So, this looks like a pretty design, but it's really just, simple. And it's, just starting with the center and just working outward. And, it just shapes, and so if we see it as just making lines and having fun, it seems less scary. And the other thing I want to say is that, our inner critic can come up regardless of, like, whenever we're doing art. Like, even an artist has inner critic, obviously. Mm-hmm. So I'll also be working through those kinds of things to help us, to not only work through inner critic when we're doing art, but also when we're stepping into our work in the world. Here is a code that I made for myself.
Freaking
and
cool.
It looks complicated, but it's actually really simple. It's like when you just put the lines together, it just creates a design. It's just a matter of putting pen to paper. And it's just about starting. Cool. It's not about trying to do anything, complicated. This is a tree. But again, it's just designs. And I like incorporating words into it. I don't know if you can really see the words, but like when we can take words that really resonate with us and put them in the drawing, it helps to create that new story for ourselves where we can really start to tell ourselves new truths, not listen so much to our inner critic that a lot of us don't really even realize how much it's controlling us.
Yeah, you don't. I didn't. And so anytime I always speak, it's my own experience. And that's why I wanted to bring you on, because I love my connection now with creativity and how it's helped me get to myself. And then I didn't even know what this inner critic was when I started my own spiritual journey and my self-growth and development work. And being able to learn how to appreciate, acknowledge, and then release the inner critic is crucial to move forward with anything in life. Yeah. And I love that you said everybody up to the most successful people in the world, they have inner critics too. We all have them. It's just learning how to manage and co-create with them.
Exactly. And then also connecting with our muse, our more soulful part of us, or more authentic part, and allowing that part to come in and kind of, influence the critic and say, well, we have a different way and different belief systems here and that we can work with. So and we all have that, nobody is not without that part of themselves. It may be buried or forgotten, but it's there. It's just about uncovering it and asking the critic to put to take a step aside and allow another part of ourselves to come forward, because we all have that wisdom within us.
Absolutely. All right. And what's the dates and times of these events?
The first one is September 11th. They're going to be all on Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. UK, and 7 p.m. European time. And so it's every other week. The dates, I believe, are, sorry.
I got them. September 11th, September 25th, October 9th, and October 23rd.
Thank you. Yes.
I wrote them down earlier because I got to put them in my calendar.
Yes, I can never remember. I know it's September 11th. I just can't remember what number.
And then it's every other week. So you kind of have a break. So it's not a strong commitment. You have to be there every week. So I'd highly encourage everyone. There is tremendous value in buying the package deal and attending all 4 workshops if you can make that happen. If you can't, she does have individual tickets available.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm giving your group a discount, an additional discount as well. I guess we haven't said that, but I'm already doing a sale that goes through this Friday. That'll be
September 4th.
I'm sorry, September 4th.
September 4th.
Through September 4th, this Friday. And so it's already just kind of $70 to $75 for 4 classes. Normally be $90, but I'm giving your peeps an additional $15 off. So making it $60 for the 4 classes.
Heck yeah. Thank you for that. That's amazing. I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
So I'll put the links in the comments and the promo code in the comments as well. And if people want to register, they can click on that link and go check out the event. Details are all there in full, even probably more than we discussed today. And then they can purchase their tickets there as well. If you're doing Eventbrite, remember you have to put in the promo code at the top before you click on the tickets. And the promo code is good for the 4 workshop package. And that is only valid until this Friday, September 4th. So be an early bird.
Through Friday. Yeah. So through Friday, it'll deactivate on Saturday morning.
Yep. And if you want to follow Sarah and what she's up to in the world, if for some reason you can't come to this event or the upcoming workshops and you just love her like I do, then you want to join her group because she's awesome. She does lots of cool, fun things in there. She's always sharing her creative work and ideas. And it is called the Soul Purpose Circle, correct?
That's right. Yes. And I'd love to have you, a woman or woman identifying. And then I also have a website. It's theuntetheredmare.com or untetheredmare.com. And I'm in the middle of putting a free gift together. I have it ready, but if you go to untetheredmare.com, you can sign up for, there's a way you can get notified, and I can add you to the list to get that free gift for you.
Ooh, do we know what the free gift's going to be?
Oh, it's a guide that's called The 5 Keys to Awaken Feminine Leadership.
Ooh.
So it's 5 main steps that I have to provide you with tools for you to really start to step in and to awaken your feminine leadership.
Awesome. Oh, well, thank you.
One of them is creativity.
That's exciting. Of course it is. That would just make perfect sense, and I love it.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining me today. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. I think we did good.
Share with the amazing people out in the world.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, is there anything else you want to share with the amazing people out in the world?
I just want to thank you, Jennifer, for having me on. And I just want to say, again, that, each one of us is so important right now with the state of the world. And I think more than ever, we're just being asked to really step in and step out and really offer what we have. But in order to do that, we have to really dive into who that is. So the first step is really just exploring who we are. And I hope that, people will join me for the workshops, because that's exactly what we'll be doing.
Okay. Oh, and we did not mention that you are keeping this in a small exclusive group. So tickets are limited.
Yes. I'm going to do 20 or less for each class, for sure.
I love it. There's really a power in doing a smaller group too, where
Yeah.
it's very intimate and intertwined, and you can connect with other people, and yeah, just kind of make some new relationships and friends and get to know each other.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
Well, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate all of your time. You are amazing, and I cannot wait to attend the event. Woo!
Me too. So glad you're going to join me. Thank you,
Me too.
Jennifer.
All
Thanks
right.
so much for having
Have a
me.
great day, everybody. See you soon.